Welcome to Rockland Community College Library's research tutorial for English 101's documented essay assignment. This video is time-stamped in the description, so feel free to skip around and go over the topics you need to learn about most. In this video, we're going to go over how to use our main database, Primo, which searches multiple library databases at once, and another database called Opposing Viewpoints, which will help you find sources on controversial topics. We'll also go over MLA Citation and Formatting, and all the tools you can use to make your life easier with that. Now, the easiest way to find the library, or to find the library website, is by under My Apps in My RCC and clicking on Library. There are several ways to contact us if you need research help. Right now, the library is open with limited service and all the reference librarians are remote this semester, which as of this recording is fall 2020. If you're watching this video at a later date, we may be back in our natural habitat in the RCC library. For now, you can instant message us using this orange Ask Us button. This chat function now also has a screen sharing option, which both the librarian and the person asking the question are going to be able to share their screen. We found this super helpful since we haven't been able to work with you face-to-face lately. If you go to the Research Help menu at the bottom of the library homepage, and you click on Ask Us, there are numbers here to text us and email us. Now I'm going to click off of this. To start our searching, we're going to go to this big search bar in the middle with this green button that says Search on it. And this is going to lead us to that first database, Primo, which searches multiple databases at once. It covers a myriad of topics that contain all types of resources, like academic articles, newspaper articles, books on the shelf, ebooks, streaming videos, etc. I'm going to start off with a basic keyword search of minimum wage. And I get about 800,000 results. And as you can see from the result list, it labels everything for you. I can see a lot of streaming videos. I can see books. They say available online, so that way I know it's an ebook. From here, I'm going to filter my search by using these options on the side. So you can filter searches, and it's kind of like online shopping, but for school research. And under resource type, I'm going to click on articles, so it's only going to give me academic and magazine articles. I'm also going to change the dates on here. If I go to creation date, it's giving me everything from 1900 to 2020. If this is a short paper in my first college English class, I don't think I need to know quite that much information. Going back to 1900, I'm going to give it the last 5 years. And I'm going to lock my filters because Primo, when you change your keywords up at the top here, likes to erase your filters. So I'm going to do remember all filters. We can see here, now I have all articles. And from looking at my search results, I can see that the second result is from the UK. I want to focus on the United States, so I'm going to add United States to my keywords up at the top. So with my filters and my new keywords, I've got about 35,000 results. And what these keywords are also doing is it's taking all 4 of those words, either separately or together, and scanning the text for them, and that's how it's giving me the results. I'm going to click on the second one, education and the minimum wage in the United States. And since this database searches other databases at once, I'm going to have to jump out of it in order to get the full text of the article. So under View Online and Full Text Availability, going to click on this, EBSCO Host Business Source Complete, and that's the name of the database that this appears in. You might see a full list of, 2, 7, 15 databases in which this article appears, but right now it's only giving me one. And from here, I can access this article in a few different ways. HTML full text will just give me the article below the window with all of this landing information. I also have an option for a screen reader, so it will read me the article if you have trouble seeing it. I can also click on the PDF from here, and that'll show me the article as it appeared in its original journal, with formatting and page numbers, etc. There are several ways to save this article. From here, I can download it onto my computer, or you can see it a little better on the main page. If I'm logged into Gmail, I can save it to my drive. I can also email it to myself. And if I select citation format, I can get it to send me the MLA citation in the email. And that MLA citation is the long citation that will go at the end of your paper in your works cited list. I always like to err on the side of having sources I even am thinking about using either downloaded on my device or saved on one of my own accounts in case there's an issue with logging into the databases later. So let's go back to the search page. Academic articles can often be studies, which can be very, very narrow in focus. So if I'm just trying to learn about a topic for the first time, I may want to grab something like a book, which will give me a more general overview on the subject. So if I click off of articles, and then go back down to resource type, and go back down to resource type, and I can click on books. And I'm going to lock the books filter too. From here, I can also change my keywords to something like income inequality, which compared to minimum wage is both a similar but also a broader term, because minimum wage is something specific within the issue of income inequality. So here I get a set of different results that are similar to the ones that I was searching before. So let's jump out of Primo and check out a smaller database. So if I go to either databases A to Z or databases by subject, I'm going to try databases by subject, and then I'm going to click on all-purpose databases. And in the middle here, it's going to give me a list of all the all-purpose databases. And I'm going to click on Gale Opposing Viewpoints in Context. So Opposing Viewpoints is a database that gives you a lot of information on different controversial topics. Provides introduction, it breaks down sources for you. So I can either do a keyword search like I did in Primo, or I can go to Browse Issues. And it gives me a very big list of hot topics. And I'm going to try facial recognition technology. So at the beginning of the page, it gives me an overview. And then if I scroll down, it'll give me what's called viewpoints or featured viewpoints. It shows you the first 3, but up here it'll tell you how many there actually are. There's 10 here and another 9 below here. These sources, if you're writing a pro-con paper, are really helpful because they give you different opinions on the same topic. It also gives you academic journals, reference, audio. These are often broadcasts. They'll give you newspapers, magazines, statistics. And if I click on one of these featured viewpoints, like the other database, I have similar options. I can save it to my drive, I can email it, I can download it, I can have it read it to me. Opposing Viewpoints will often provide you with article commentary, which comes with questions that'll help you think more about what this article is discussing in depth. And that in turn will also help you brainstorm when you're trying to come up with your own thesis statement if you don't have one already. And below the article, I have the MLA citation. I'm going to click off of Opposing Viewpoints really quickly and just show you that below Opposing Viewpoints is another database that does pretty much the same thing. It's just a different one, so it might have some different sources or a layout or functionality you prefer. It's called Issues and Controversies. So a quick note on English 101 classes and Opposing Viewpoints. Some of your professors really like Opposing Viewpoints and some don't. So always check with them before directly using sources from it. That said, databases like Opposing Viewpoints and Issues and Controversies are still really good for brainstorming about topics and getting ideas if you're not sure what you want to do for your paper. And before we go to the last part, which will be MLA citation, I'm just going to show you really quickly on the home page where you can access the library's guide to English 101 classes and the documented essay. So if I go down below here to Research Guides, the very bottom of the page, I'm going to go to English, click Go, and then click on English 101, the documented essay. So from here there are various sections which will give you more information about using library resources to do your documented essay assignment. So once you've gathered all your sources and you're ready to write your paper, or while you're writing your paper, you have to cite those sources. Citation and formatting may seem like a pain, but it makes life easier for your professors when they're reading your papers. It's like standardized spelling. If they see a citation written a certain way, they know very quickly what they're looking at. So anything that makes their life easier will in turn make your life easier since they're grading you. And citing used to be a much more tedious process, but there are tools to make this easier. A couple of which we saw with the automatically generated citations that are provided for you in the database. We also have citation guides on the RCC homepage. You're in that same column with Research Guides and Ask Us. Click on that, and then I can go to the MLA citation. So RCC citation guide, along with pretty much every other college library citation guide, is heavily based on Purdue OWL, which is from Purdue University in Indiana. And this site is very, very detailed, and it'll help you cite things when, for example, you don't get an automatically generated citation from a database. Maybe you used a website, maybe you used a paper book. So it'll help you out with that, and you can see on the side they have all different options. It'll also show you how to do in-text citations. Which when you quote or otherwise use information from somebody else in the body of your paper, you have to say it when you say it. So here they show you an example of someone quoting somebody or referencing something. And there's the author's name and the page number in parentheses. It'll also show you how to count for all kinds of weird stuff, like let's say you don't have an author or a page number, or you have multiple authors, or an author that isn't a person. It'll tell you how to account for all that stuff. And even citation generators online or ones that are provided by databases generally don't give you the in-text citation, they just give you the long citation that goes at the end of the paper in the works cited list. So in addition to showing you how to format different types of sources, doing in-text citation, Purdue OWL also has a sample paper, which contains labels and explains every element you could possibly use in an MLA style paper, although you might not use every single element in every single paper you write. The last thing I'm going to show you as far as MLA help goes is back on my RCC under my apps. So Word has a MLA style template because MLA is not just citation, it's also how you format your paper. But if you don't have Word or Office, don't worry, because through RCC, everyone has access to Office 365. And you can create an account with Office 365 just by using your RCC email address. And 365 is similar to Google Docs in that it's cloud-based. Multiple people can share and edit the same document, but it also has more functionality than Google Docs. It does almost all the same things that the programs in Microsoft Office do. So if I click on the top, I have an MLA style paper template. This sort of pre-formats the paper. You replace all of their stuff with your stuff. Similar to the sample paper on Purdue OWL, it provides you with different elements you could possibly use. You may not have to caption a chart or an image in your paper, or you might not need to have a quote that's long enough for a block quote, but it's there in case you need it. And at the end, it even, let me just move this to its own page, it even formats your works cited list. So all of these available MLA tools really make your life way easier as a student. One, because you shortens a boring process that most people don't like doing, and it'll allow you to concentrate on writing a good paper instead of worrying about, what parts of your citation to italicize, what order to put them in, making, as you can see here, these funky hanging indents that go in your works cited list and all that other exciting stuff. So this concludes our tutorial. This has been a basic introduction, but there are many more resources in the library than what we saw in this video. RCC librarians are available to answer your questions with this assignment, any other questions you might have about the library in general or for your other classes, and for the rest of your time at RCC. Please feel free to reach out to us. It's what we're here for.